the colors in glass are made by metallic oxides. That's why I have
Oh,
the vent
yes.
system. Okay.
Uh-huh.
What I'm getting ready to do is make a glass bead. And I make the glass bead on a metal rod that has a coating of clay on it. That clay coating allows the bead to slide off that metal rod once it's made. The glass I use comes in rods like this, and it comes from Murano, Italy. Those folks in Italy figured out early on how to add color to glass and how to make it clear. The colors in glass are made by using metallic oxides. The cobalt makes blue, copper makes green, silver will make brown, gold makes ruby red. So that's one of the most expensive colors of glass that we can use. Now I'm going to finish making my bead. And what I'm doing is I'm getting glass the temperature of a volcanic lava flow. And at that temperature it's a liquid. And so I'm letting that liquid flow onto that metal rod, lining it up just like honey on a knife. Now I have my bead made. This is graphite. Hot glass won't stick to graphite. If I used a metal rod, once that metal rod got hot, that glass would stick right to it again. I'm going to come back and decorate that. I'm going to choose another color. This color of glass that I have in my right hand has a lot of metal in it. You can almost see the metals climbing up the glass rod. What we'll do with this later on is use a torch that doesn't have enough oxygen in it and make that metal pop out. What I'm doing here is because glass is a super cooled liquid, while it's liquid I can stretch it and pull it. When it freezes I have a solid string of glass. Now I'm going to take that solid string of glass and I'm going to use it to draw my design. And I'm controlling the heat. I can tell just how hot that glass is by the color of the heat. Because as glass heats up, it goes from rosy red to orange to yellow. And somewhere between orange and yellow is where it's ready to be manipulated. Now making sure everything's stuck to the surface good. Alright, now we've got to let the glow go away. Then we're going to use a reduction flame. Reduction flame is a flame that doesn't have enough oxygen in it. We're going to make that glass that I just put on there, let its metals pop out. And there you see the glass bead being completed. Now, the next step in the process is called the annealing process. What happened at the temperature that I was using, the molecules in the glass were boogieing. I mean, they were dancing just as fast as they could. And when I pulled it out of the flame, it was like playing freeze tag. And so the molecule, instead of being is So at 950 degrees in my kiln, molecules are still moving. They're not boogieing, they're doing a little slow dance. And they'll find their partner and partner back up. Glass has a crystalline matrix. The matrix of glass has a lattice work and it has to fit together in just a certain way. And that's what's happening right there. Now the annealing part is to let the glass cool very slowly, because as glass cools, it shrinks. As it shrinks, it's squeezing down on the middle of that bead. That middle of the bead is still hot, so there's a lot of stress being applied to the glass. To keep the stress from happening, we cool it down 100 degrees an hour overnight, and that's called the annealing process. If I don't do that, you might be wearing that earring, go from a hot room into a cold room, and you hear a little, and the stress in the glass will pull it apart. And that's the most important part of making a bead that you're going to sell, because you don't want to sell beads that are going to break real easily. So this is Glass Bead Making 101.
Thank you.
You're welcome.